Hello once more, YouTube, to this exciting third episode. We may have more spectators. We didn't really have any before, but some people in the Let's Play thread were asking, so I gave them the time I'm going to be doing this. I actually started a few minutes before the time I gave them, though, because there's actually a lot of accumulated baggage. I do these in one take. I'm going to make some game knowledge errors. I happened to make a few more than standard. I made quite a few. Mostly small stuff, but I want to correct it all to make sure you guys get the right idea. First off, this is one really minor one, but it's worth noting. I call the Crimson Imp undead. They're not undead. When I say undead, what I mean is they have 3 pips of resist negative and torment resistance. And that's like the undead thing to have. And so I kind of class demons as undead in the sense that like a pain spell or whatever isn't going to work on them. But it's really important that you don't try to dispel undead on a Crimson Imp. It's not going to get you anywhere. So don't forget that. Degeneration potions, I said they're not temporary, or at least I implied it by drinking the restore. It's temporary, it's just very slow to go away. Um, so in this case, since I got Dex drained for the max value of 1d4, which was 4, I did want to drink restore anyway. But it's nice to have restore around because there's the draining. Yeah, we got drained in this video, I'm pretty sure, right? And it lowers your skills a bit and all that. I think we got drained. And if you get really, really heavily drained, restore our ability is completely negates your drain. So it's really good to have one on hand for that. So, you don't want to just drink it the first time you get stat drained. Like if you get drained 1 point of a stat, don't just drink your restore abilities, wait it out. Um, in this particular case, 4 points, that was probably worth restore abilitying rather than saving it for a mega drain. So that's another thing to know. Trap doors, and yeah, I guess we'll call them trap doors for up and down. And let me go here and oh, I suppose this isn't going to show me trapdoors, is it, if I do the up, down? Let me see if there is one on this floor. Okay, there's like those orange ones, remember? Yeah, those don't look like there are any. Like the orange up and down ones that only go one way. I also made a comment that they only are one use, and that's not true. I never use them, so I don't think of them as being anything more than an emergency panic button for one use. When it's going to matter is that once we hit the floor of the dungeon with lair on it, like I said, we're probably going to be putting our stash in lair because animals don't have hands. So once we've got that, we want to make sure we use the up and down stair like shafts on the subsequent floors after we've cleaned it out and made it safe. So then auto travel will know how they work and it will save us some time. Doing it for the first few floors would be kind of silly because we're doing hardly any transitioning between floors auto traveling, and the time we spend going to go down that staircase again may very well be longer than the time we save. But once we hit like the floor with lair on it, we'll be doing a lot more auto traveling from then. So we need to be careful of that. Alright. Other things people noted. Might is really good early game. It gives you 1d10 to melee. I kind of talked shit about it because I don't like it, but in the extreme early game, if you're going to be hitting stuff, might is useful. So probably you should use it earlier. I was kind of saying I saved them late just for like in my Zot run I accumulate a bunch just to always have it up because you never know. It probably does make more sense to use it early on so you can melee shit you couldn't melee. Yeah, there's a new tip about mine. I take back what I said. And then there's 2 big ones left. Those were all, pretty really minor stuff. The first big one. So remember when I told you that the archery like calculations happen to be actually way more complex than the melee ones, like the damage, and that changed the math. It also changes the min delay. As it turns out, I'm kind of an idiot in the first place because so you see under Dungeon 6 we got time 7784.3. That's like the turn that it is. We're gonna fire. I'm worth losing an arrow to show this off, and I might not lose it. So notice that was point 0.3. Now it's point 0.2, and then that parentheses that shows the time of the last action we took, which is point 0.9. Well, all right. Let's look at our bow of flame. What's its min delay? Point 0.6. Whoops! I totally lied when I said I'd hit min delay. It's not just damage calculation. That rule I gave you, where you knock off point 0.1 for every 2 ranks, that's only melee as well. Not only does archery have a way more complicated damage formula, it has a more complicated min delay formula. What does this mean for us in the practical term? We're going to focus bows. Again, we are still going to do, this is the pattern I want to stick with. Bows at 50%, invocations at 25%, and 25% to start hitting our miscellaneous skills. Because like they scale up like per rank of that skill, the benefit. And just because it's so much quicker to get the lower ones, having that little bit of experience just pop off these things that are useful can get you a long way, I find. That's what makes crawl interesting, is the fundamental tension between that and wanting to get your primary damage skill as high up as possible. And it's worth noting, if you're going to make an error in the other way. Like, if you're not sure, be on the side of being too aggressive and just turning only on, like, this. This wouldn't be bad, right? Like, if you're never sure, like, if you're ever like, I don't know when I'm going to skill up, do something like this, okay? This is fine. This would be perfectly acceptable. I, having played a lot of goddamn Demon Spawn Hunters, feel comfortable with this. But always, like, if you're going to make an error, it's much better to make the error where you focused too much on just your damage than spreading out too thin. A lot of new players will spread out too thin. And this is just I personally think I can get away with this. And that's why I'm doing it. And I could be wrong. So that's important. Another one is a hotkey I didn't know. It's worth noting you can double tap question mark to get a lot of the tricks. Although I'm not even sure if the trick that I got told about shows up in here at all. So, but a lot of the keyboards are in question mark, question mark. And in fact, the whole question mark menu is just gold for new players. I especially love the philosophy section on crawl, but all of this could just be useful. So, question mark's a good button. But apparently, if you shoot and then you hit the period key instead of enter, you will shoot that square and no further. It's like that error we had where we're like, we don't want to shoot because if we miss, we might hit our buddy. Turns out, no, you can just hit period and you won't overshoot. It's crazy. I did not know that at all. So thank you to everyone who pointed out those errors, but especially a thanks to Pitch, because he's the one who pointed out those two big ones, that I hadn't hit min delay and the period trick, and those are both crazy. Another comment someone made is about my scrolls and why I don't ID them. So here's the thing. Read IDing scrolls is a lot safer than read IDing potions. I'm not afraid of it at all. In our case, we don't want to read ID in combat, because if we have a scroll of Holy Word, it will hurt us a lot because we're a demon, but it won't kill us. So if we're like, if we're in our stash and we're just hanging out and IDing stuff, it's not going to kill us. Nothing will kill us. However, I don't want to read them blindly until I need the slots or whatever. Why? Because I could find a scroll shop and ID them. So let's say one of these scrolls, maybe it's Ron Kowalfal, maybe it's Foyquigualv, maybe it's Strutrify maybe one of those is blinking, right? I could read it and I'd have blinking ID'd, but then it would be gone. Whereas if I find a shop selling scrolls and I buy a blinking scroll, I'll have 2 blinking scrolls. So that's why I really, once I've got the thing I need, I got Identify and Remove Curse and Telly, I don't like to read ID scrolls until I've got 3 or 4. I never try to read ID 1 because I could find a scroll shop. It might be worth read IDing this 2, because if it's blinking, then yeah, I lose a blinking, but then I have an identified blinking ready to save my life. So 2 is kind of on that borderline. 3, I generally will read one of them just to get it, but that's why I don't read ID my singletons if I can help it. So I think that's about everything I need to cover. I think I can go ahead and get started. We're going to like I said, because I know for you may be watching these videos back to back, but for me, there's been 2 real life days. So I'm going to just quick kind of audit myself. Just for songs. Like that Magic Shield, for example, that would be a really embarrassing... Well, I guess not now because I'm not casting spells, but assume I had a spell to cast. That'd be one of those really embarrassing things to forget about. Oh, and I did forget, I do have my Ring of Flight, and that's at 28% failure. And there are times when being able to fly... Oh, those are 0, that's awesome. Is really useful. So for now, I'm going to just call it 2 stealth, and I'm going to make my... kind of, like I was saying, I have the one kind of weak skill that I'm going to throw experience at. I'm going to make that Evo. And we're going to get this Ring of Flight online just as soon as we can. Because we're an archer, so as long as there's, basically, water can be useful for us, alright? I was going to say something longer, but that's just it. We can do some cool tricks with water. Okay, we hear the hiss of flowing sand. This didn't used to have this more prompt, as I recall. The one that you need a hard hit enter to show you've acknowledged it, and I'm quite happy they've got it now. This is called, I think they're called portals. They're like these little temporary branches. You go into them, they've got 1 floor, you kill it, and then you leave, and it's gone forever. And it also will decay if you just let it sit for too long. We'll lose it forever. This one is the ossuary. It's got some undead stuff in it. If we had magic mapping, we could use it to find the ossuary, but I'm not willing to, burn all of my... Oh, it's a baker making bread. I'm not willing to burn all of my scrolls just to try to find magic mapping, because it's not super important we get this ossuary, but it'd be nice. So notice that stealth gave us basically what it's going to end up having given us is a couple of rounds of free shooting on this Spriggan because we used it to walk backwards when we saw him. And that's an example. Yeah, see, we got from 0 to 1 evocations on, yeah, one kill. That's how crazy it can get in these situations. When you, just you get a lot of experience for high level guys. So this is awesome. This is a lot of bread. And so that's the kind of thing that even just 2 ranks in stealth, it let us get a couple more. We hear the rapid hiss of an Agilantis stand a long way away. I don't like that it's already rapid. Maybe the ossuary messages are backwards. I could look them up on the wiki if I wanted to. I don't care enough to look them up because I'm either going to make it in time or I'm not. I'm really trying to avoid the destruction. Oh, yeah, that's ossuary, I think. That's like the sandy walls. It's either ossuary or a beehive. Yeah, that's stone, not honeycombs. Oh, I'm already hungry again. What the hell? That's why I don't want to use my Mocklib stuff here, because there's not going to be, it's going to be all zombies and shit inside the ossuary. So, oh, mummies are weak to fire. Awesome. Oh, wait, except not that one, apparently. Oh, yeah, see, now he's burned terribly. That means he was weak. I don't know how he keeps getting unharmed. I guess I'm like... Okay. So you see, you feel nervous. Your amulet of resist mutation glows black. Those are mummy curses. They do things to you. Often, like the weakest mummies at least, will just curse your equipment. So we're just going to get everything cursed to us. Then we're going to walk out. And we can just read our remove curse if we need to switch stuff. For now, what it means is we're probably going to try to leave our bow in our hand this whole time, so we don't accidentally get cursed with the whip in our hand. Okay. This is an ominous layout here. There's a mummy. Let's light him on fire. Dong. Oh, there's centaur zombies. I feel like that's not going to be nearly as bad as like a living ass centaur. Let's actually, we're going to not, we want to hold him in the staircase. We also want to make sure our bro here gets to get his kicks off. Anyway, these aren't mummies, these are zombies, so I am okay switching to my whip for this. Just as long as, before I see a mummy again, I need to have my bow in my hand. Oh, one more thing someone pointed out in the crawl thread. Just the... Because I gave you the flavor-ish kind of justification why zombies, we don't see their health until they die. They also said it's worth pointing out in the game code, the way it's coded, is that when you fight a zombie, you're fighting its max HP. Which kind of really drives home the point that a zombie, maybe he'll have a lot of health, but they can't walk back and heal like you can. So you can do some different tactics with a zombie you can't do against most people. So yeah, that's just a cool thing to know, is in the game code you're actually fighting the max HP of the zombie. Yeah, we already got level 2 evocations. And we're probably having high evo can be, there's a lot of, they're called gadgets or whatever in the game. Oh, I guess they're sold at gadget shops. They're not called gadgets as a collective, but I kind of use them. Just evocable items that do cool things. Like a box of beasts where you can pull out random beasts or whatever. These got these cool effects. They can have bad, random things happen to you. And a lot of players don't even kind of like to use them because, obviously in Crawl, consistency is the great watchword. But if you've got good evo, they can actually do quite a bit for you. Do we have a Ring of Hunger or something? What the hell? I just feel like we're way hungrier than we have any right to be getting here. Maybe just how long it's taking us to kill these goddamn guys? No, we got nothing on us that would make us this hungry. I don't know. I just feel like this is too much. Too much hunger. What do I know, though? I'm not a doctor. Oh, hello, nurse. This is a good room. Got heal potions. We got some other ones. And now we're going to do more victory chugging, because maybe we'll get... Actually, let's leave the ossuary before we do any victory chugging. But now, I don't think there's much that can permanently, and, yeah. Oh, see? There's an example. It cursed the whip in our inventory, right? So we had the bow in our hands, like I said we had to do. The bow got cursed was in our inventory. So when I went to go and wield it when hitting apostrophe, Crawl didn't just have me do it. It says, it's cursed. You sure you want to? And that's why I keep telling, Crawl, it's a very difficult game, but it's on your side. It wants you to win in terms of the interface and stuff, and it's just, it really has the vibe of listen, man, it's just you and me against the world, even though the game is also itself the world. So it's really cool that it's just got your back on little things like that. Doing these weird bank shots with my arrows of flame. Maybe it's almost to save arrows. It should have been worth just uncursing that whip, because I'm going to need to uncurse it at some point anyway, so probably this is actually a waste of arrows what I'm doing. Oh, I'm going to show off that thing. Fire! Period. Notice how I didn't get that warning that I could hit my Lemire? Yeah, that's right. Hotkeys. Why is this fucking elf zombie not dying? Okay. Gaining all those arrows back that I shot. I actually lost a decent number there. That's kind of stupid. Why am I so fucking hungry? This is seriously weirding me out. This just feels like I'm getting hungry way too fast. Huh, whatever. I wish we had, like, because I gave the time and said spectators could come. I wish I had spectators just so I could ask someone, why am I so hungry in this video game? Like, I don't know. It's weird. There's going to be more zombies in or mummies in here. Let's kill them. Oh, I guess this is a zombie. Okay. Because I'm probably going to go read or remove curse now, so I just want to make sure there's no mummies waiting for me, because if there are, I may as well kill them. Get rid of all these curses at once. Get out of here. Okay, I see an orc. Orcs are delicious, so I'm going to start spamming Moklib attacks instead. And see, that was like a pain one. You saw the little sprite. And that's what I meant when I made that offhand comment that imps are undead. It's not that they're actually undead. It's that things like that don't work on them because they have the undead resistance set. It's worth knowing this is doing 1 damage to us every time. It could add up, I guess. Christ, I can't hit this guy for shit. Oh, I could hit the adder, though. And now I know I'm going to get food because he left a corpse. Sometimes you can get these really bad runs where nothing leaves corpses. Jesus, fine, I'll use my bow. Christ almighty. Why is life terrible today? Oh, I guess this is answering my question. I think. Remember when I said I'm going to keep a normal bow because I don't know if they resist fire. Does like the normal arrow do stuff to them? And it looks like we have our answer, and it's no. Those arrows of flame didn't seem to do anything. So I think that, yeah. I think that because he's got resist fire 3, like he resists my... So let's wield my normal bow and get this guy out of here. Actually taking damage for some dumb reason. I know I've been 2v1ing forever, but these guys are weak. It's just... I don't know. Things are confusing. Alright, awesome. And that was enough to fill me, so I can sank this adder. And now let's go wield our good bow again. Oh, that's right. I need to go on my quaffing adventure. Oh, I don't think I shot that far, did I? Maybe I did. I think that that might just be like a stack of arrows. Let's kill this worker ant and find out. Yes, it was a stack of arrows. Now we're up to 60. Well, now let's do some victory chugging. We're hoping for beneficial mutation. Nope, this potion of flight. We don't need that. We have our ring. That's confusion. Let's get it out of the way now. And let's drink this one. Brilliance. Okay. Brilliance just gives you like a buff to int and something to do with spellcasting, but I forget what the exact buff is. So, yeah. Arrow of Flame hits him, he completely resists. Pretty sure that means we have to use regular bows against that guy. I never quite knew that, so that's cool. Oh, I see a tree. Is this the floor where Lair is on? This is, I believe, the first floor. No, you can't even get Lair yet, so that's just a random tree. Alright, cool. I can set it on fire, I think. Hey, it's our first shop. We will talk about that after we kill this iguana. It's like the worst after our sponsors ever. Alright. I think we're going to be hungry soon. We've been hungry so fast, like I've been saying. So, shops, you may notice we have, like, our gold right now is 332. You don't sell in Crawl. You only buy. You find gold on the ground, you spend it on stuff. In this case, oh, that steaming leather, that means it's an artifact of some sort. That could be really cool. That's what, like, that highlight white means. And it just means it's got some cool, unique combination of stuff. And I think it's not going to be super shitty, but then I wonder why it's so cheap. But it's like, I don't know why I keep switching between... I guess my Angband, I was trying to switch to an equipment inventory, but here inventory has everything I need. And equipment is just... Oh, we gotta read remove curse to be able to take off our armor, so let's go ahead and just get this out of the way. Bong! And now we can... Oh, I guess it didn't hit our whip because it wasn't in our hands. I should have put it in my hand. I'm an idiot. Oh well. Maybe I'll just drop it next time I find a good one. Just to hide my shame. So, okay. We're going to take this gambit because it will be fun. Maybe this will be terrible. I don't know, like, how Crawl does it when you don't have this artifact identified. Like, how close this value is to just being, like, a true value that lets you basically know how good of an item it's going to be. Versus it kind of being, this is your price for a lottery ticket. It could be way better than this cost or way worse. Because I don't usually buy artifacts from shops, but, like, I kind of show you guys an artifact and this was here. So let's do it. Alright, we're putting it on. We're putting it on. Actually, we've got 6 scrolls of identify. We may as well ID it first in case it's really shitty and cursed. You never know. Normally, you can put it on and just see how much of it IDs, but like we got 6. Fuck it. Okay, it is cursed. The cursed +0 leather armor, Zyme pumps, resist cold. So basically, what's gonna happen is we're gonna lose our cool elven leather like stealth bonus, but we're gonna gain a pip of resist cold, and that's totally worth it. Getting, like, you see, you can have up to 3 of them. And the first one's the most important because, like, I think they reduce the damage by, like, a third each time or something like that. So first you resist 1/3, and then you resist 1/3, and then 1/3 of the remaining 2/3, and then da-da-da. It's something like that, if not that exactly. So having 1 pip is really useful. So, like, this wasn't a stupendously good artifact or anything, but, I mean, we'll take it. Like, a pip of resistance, you know. I don't care that it's cursed. Yes, we will put it on. And actually, no. Actually, we don't want to have this armor uncursed later, so here's what we'll do. We'll do it, and we'll wield the whip, and we'll remove curse. We've only got 1 remove curse left now, but now we have everything is uncursed, so yeah, rather than trying to just having to do archery until I find another melee weapon. Someone else pointed something out, which is that jellies will spawn on floors occasionally and eat your cool stuff, and you like your stuff. So we should put those, like, that mini stash we made of Cure Mutation into the Ecumenical Temple. Because there's absolutely no monster spawning instead of just very rare when you're gone. So let's do that. Oh, hey, it's an Orc Priest. If this was a really, like, if we were weak or really low level, I would actually probably kill him, drop him with just Moklib Invo, because I don't need to spend the half turn switching to my bow. Here, whatever, we're great. Let's just do it. Alright. And we hit enter to go back to where we were going. Oh, it's a bat. Okay. So we could just pick these all up here, but here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to hit comma, which is another way, and then you hit comma again, and we pick up everything. Hooray! We picked up everything. And now we're going to go hit GT to go to temple. So it was kind of worth exploring temple like we did that time. And I just said I wanted to mark it on my list. And now what we'll do is we're going to hit capital D, and that drops everything that was in our last pickup action. So that's a really cool way to condense your stash. So that was fun. We're going to make this, we're going to hit Control W, the waypoints function. We're going to hit D to delete, and we're going to delete that first one, because it doesn't matter anymore. That's just a random spot on the floor. And then we're going to Control W, and we're going to make this the new waypoint 1. Even though fast traveling to temple does work too, like to get here, this is kind of to remind myself how to do it. We're not going to drop our regular bow because we saw for Crimson Imps, we really want it around. I guess we'll keep Might now that guy pointed out it's kind of better early game. Maybe I'll use that and go Indiana Jones on something like an idiot. So, well, okay, we want to drop... We have too many rations. They're heavy. See, it's 72 arbitrary units of mass for those 9 bread rations. We want to keep the 1 pair, like I said, to do the rounding. So we're going to drop the leather, the elven leather. We're probably just never going to need it ever again, but since we're here, we'll drop it here so we have it if we decide we really want the stealth. We're going to drop the meat ration because that's taking a slot. But we also want to drop some of the bread. We're going to drop 4 bread rations. That you could probably drop more. I just like to be really cautious, and this is making it like impossible for us to starve before we can at least get back here and grab the rest. Unless something incredibly stupid happens. We'll keep all our scrolls because we're hoping to ID them, and so yeah, away we go. Oh, that's right. You can't use Control G because I'm in a branch now. So like, you think of the dungeon diagram as being down, 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 and this is like a lateral shift. And in our lateral shift, we can't go down because this is like the bottom floor of temple. So we have to go up, and now the auto travel will work again. All right, and let's switch because we want to walk around with our bow so that if we hit something dangerous, we don't need the half turn to switch. I'd rather use the half turn to switch in the situations where I've decided I'm safe enough to use the whip. All right, we're gonna eat this jackal. We're gonna sack those jackals. Why am I so hungry? This is really bothering me. It just feels like a very wrong amount of hunger to be having. Nothing in my mutations does it. I don't know. Nah, that was fun. Hey, it's a pair of gloves. They're not going to do anything. They're probably just going to give us like 1 AC, but like it's a slot that we don't have filled right now, so. Yeah, we're not wearing gloves, right? That's shift 5. Yeah, no gloves. We also have no boots, no helmet. We won't, like, if we find boots, they're not going to be useful that long. Our toenails, any level now, could grow into talons. And then boots will do nothing for us. Sif Muna is another caster god. I'm not going to go and explain the big difference between the caster gods, because it's just not what we're doing this game. Some other game will happen. Oh, shit! I already hit the 5th rank. I can now summon a Greater Servant of Makleb. The Greater Servant does not fuck around. You see, we need 16% failure, 10 health, food, and a huge amount of piety. But it also fucking stomps ass. So, yes, we want Ethor Flesh. So that's good to know. This is actually all of our Makleb benefits now. I'm just going to tell you, like, when we hit max piety, the full stars, Makleb doesn't give anything. Not because he's like a lame, shitty god. He's like, you don't give me anything. The reason is that because he's a god all about using his stuff, and only Lesser Destruction doesn't have a piety cost, the cool thing about having no max benefit is then it's kind of just saying you can spam a couple of Greater Servants when you're at max and still be able to do more Greater Servants. Like if Greater Servant was more powerful but the max rank, then you did one Greater Servant, you can't do another one. Where's the fun in that? This is one of those arena levels. Luckily, as far as arenas go, you can't really top fucking like a rat, a bat, and a zombie as your welcoming committee. I mean, it's an ogre zombie, I guess, but just to be absolutely safe, what we're going to do is we're going to walk backwards until the ogre wakes up. Or actually, we don't want to walk too far into the blindness, so this is about as far as we'll go, but just to give us some free shots against him. We're going to have to hit this bat, but I'm just going to do it. Yeah, this is really... yeah, we have a really good cloak. This isn't... If it just says Elven Cloak in white, like, it's only going to have up to, I think, a +2 enchantment. Like, it's not magical at all. And so, like... Already hungry again. Oh, I kind of double walked into that like an idiot. And then I shot the sword guy and not him. Oh, fuck jellies. Okay, fuck centaurs the most, though. But you see why these levels kind of get intense? A lot of guys are coming from everywhere, and if we stair dance, it's just going to get worse for us. In an arena level like this, we need to do stair dancing as little as possible. He sucks because he's eating my shit, so let's... Thank you for defending me, my buddy. And Lemire got burned. There we go. There's a Crimson Imp around, so let's switch to this bow. Funk. 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 I think something around here left a corpse, right? Yes. Delicious. So did the centaur. Give him a Makleb because he has a high hit dice. He's more likely to give us that piety. So now we're going to not auto-travel. If you're in an arena level, try to never auto-explore, please, because this can get really shitty. You never know when you're going to just pull in way more people from the little boonies than you can handle. And in this level, you get no do-overs. Butcher him for our inevitable Random hunger. Oh, wait, what's a ring of flight at? 16. Okay, we're gonna keep training Evo. I think I'm gonna get to like 8% or something. Because, I mean, Evo is just good in general. Like, it makes our wands more likely to trigger and stuff. But, you still gotta balance that against... Eventually, I want to go into fighting, probably is our next goal. Just because... So, fighting gives you some hit points for every rank of fighting. And then some more hit points for every level per rank of fighting. So, like, basically, the way to think about it is when you get a rank of fighting, you get an element that gives you health and an element that gives you scaling health per level. Just need to make sure, because the Goliath beetles are kind of serious business. Actually, the jackals normally aren't, but there's so many of them. Whatever, though. We're not going to die or anything crazy because they're jackals. We just need to have a slightly more respect than we would otherwise. What does this mean in practice? We're going to want to sleep to full. I had 3. I thought I butchered that jackal because I'm like, my worker ant flesh, I've only got 1, but I actually had 3 of them, so I should have sacked that, like both jackals there. Now you know. Oh, I just kind of like walked around and not paying attention in this ogre. That's the kind of mistake that can kill you, but we're so kind of ahead of the game here that, like, ogres, whatever. And you notice that giant spiked club is gray. It's too big for normal hands. Oh, you're shitting me. Our 3rd cure mute. Awesome. We have 6 scrolls of identify. It's almost time to just use scrolls on scrolls, but ideally I'd find a shop first, and then I'd say, now that I found this shop, I'm going to scrolls on scrolls for the ones that are left. Beneficial mutation. No, agility. Wyvern. I think agility just gives you like temp dex. Like it's in the same kind of potion set of might and brilliance, and none of them are that super good. I'm breaking my own advice and auto traveling through the arena just because it's mostly clear already, so it's kind of hard for there to be like gremlins left. Alright, this is good. A spare restore abilities because we used ours. That probably should have been a shot in the Goliath beetle, but like I'm getting kind of clumsy for as long as there's just these weaker enemies around. Like that's why I'm giving you good advice and then not doing it. And having said that, this shit's actually getting mildly hairy. In fact, I think we're going to go ahead and call in a lesser servant just to not get surrounded. Like none of these things on their own are that big of a threat. But if I end up getting whacked by the iguana, Goliath, and wizard before I can kill any of them, it might be a problem. And sometimes, it's worth noting, the lesser servant doesn't always cost piety. It flips a coin and costs 0 or 1 piety, right? So, like, we get, like, a kill and spread destruction. Mokleb's name will probably get it back. So you can spam these lesser servants quite a bit, too. And this is what that same Hellwing was like before. We'll take 1 step back, 2 steps back, and now we're fine. Now we'll just fight. And this is going to be trivial now. And it probably would have been trivial even without the Hellwing, but, like, it had the potential for bad luck to kill us. And this is the thing about Crawl. There are very few unlucky deaths. Everyone has their story of, like, the unavoidable death. Most of the time, it's a kind of saying, it was unlucky, it was 1% chance. Like, yeah, and you got in over 100 fights of that sort. So it was basically inevitable, right? Luck's not a thing. It's just, you don't let bad luck happen to you. Because even if I had bad luck there, I would have won. Because I had a fucking Hellwing. That's what it's all about. Alright. Fuck, we're just going to ignore this bat. Basically, the problem with this bat is he might do what he did there and get in the wyverns away once. Floop, 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 floop. Alright, our iridescent scales went over more of our bodies. We hit level 10. That's given us... Oh, that's right. Here it's just going to say scales too, but in the Shift A, that's 2 more AC. So we're up to 12 AC wearing our crazy artifact leather, so that's nice. Hungry literally after I butcher it. Phantoms are undead, so they have those negative resistances and can be a big problem for people casting those spells. We are not, so we don't care. But yeah, you see now, even when it's almost, like, mostly cleared, how people are just kind of coming out of nowhere, you really got to watch out for arena levels, because the problem, of course, is when you hit, like, a unique or two, and you can't have that retreat option, and we just gotten lucky to not have those. This has been a really unique light just run in general. We've had a couple. We had Grinder, but like, generally you see more by now. We're definitely gonna see them at some point. I'd say I remember that Orc Warrior was the big bane before, where we had to like completely change our perspective around. Things have gotten a bit easier since that fight is known. Gonna These fucking idiots stop getting in my grill. I'm gonna eat that guy. You can have that one. You can have that one. I want that. I want that. I want that. Oh my gosh, I'm up to 7 heal wounds. That's a lot of heal wounds potions. Oh no, he's got a club, guys. Twisted. So this is an artifact flail. That's why you see it's in the same like heavy white. I don't know, bright white. And so we're gonna also wield that because like this is just a 4/1 elven whip, and if we have a flail that has like a really cool, like see invisible as an example of something I'd love on my flail. Just if I'm getting beat up by an invisible dude, I can go see invisible really fast. Um, well, that's kind of good too. It's plus MR twice. So that's just we're gonna give us more magic resist. We see right now we're very resistant to hostile enchantments, and now if we use the whip, we are not resistant. So that's just kind of good. Walk like if we see like oh shit, there's this evil spellcaster here. I gotta run away. I'll take the half turn, swaps my flail of abomination, and then it just is way more damaging than the whip too. Crushing is the Vorpal brand, which gives it more damage, and it already has 7. So like we look at this. Yeah, base damage of 10 plus 7, so like 7, 1d10 plus 7. Pretty cool. It does have a slightly longer attack delay. It's 1.4, and our whip is 1.1. But even with that, like, this is just way better. So, let's go ahead and welcome it into our family in the traditional way of reinscribing it to be on A. So that we can do this between it. And, yeah, this is a really cool weapon. Almost makes me want to go and what's the word? Like get a little bit of the weapon skill even, but we're an archer. Archers to the end. We found another wand. We're quite happy about finding another wand because we're training our Evo for that ring of flight. So it also just makes our wands better. So wands always help. Getting out 106 arrows. We've pretty much hit arrow critical mass now. It's going to be very difficult for us to end up like running out of arrows. It's still possible, but this is kind of the point where like just the arrows we're going to find as we adventure pretty much are going to outpace the demand now. Oh, he's got his whale fang. He won't even accept our worship if we wanted to, because he's a racist dickhead. Hello, giant frog. You give that loud, deep croak. Oh yeah, something else I don't think I touched on is that the arena levels will tend to be arenas on both sides quite often, so that you can't get away from them at all. Like, oh, he has these darts of dispersal that teleport us when they hit us. They're annoying. You know what? This is so stupid, but I want to show off this flail, so I'm going to kill this iguana with the flail. Yeah, it's really good. This will also let us save arrows, even if we, like, didn't have the safe number, we'd be alright. But I'm still probably going to do it, even though we've got the safe number. Just kind of like, I've got the flail, I will, but we don't really need to. Like, we've got a really good number of arrows now. So like I was saying, so these are together too, so you can't even try to like run across and go down to rest to avoid the arena-ness of this level, because when you'll come up, it'll be the same. That's just the point. You need to be ready to engage the arena threats as they happen. Okay. So, we're going to get our bow out because we're going down. We're going to shoot this iron wand. It used to be there was this big kind of algorithm you had to do for identifying wands. You have to like hit a low MR monster when there's a wall behind him and blah blah blah. And eventually the crawl devs realized it was kind of annoying, so now just firing a wand once anywhere identifies it. So, okay, it's a wand of fire. I believe that's the better fire version too. Yeah, great bolts of fire. There's like a wand of flame that does poof, and this just poof. So this is really awesome. A little less awesome just because we've got the bow of flame. So we're not going to be in a situation where we need the element of fire really fast. But it still is quite a damaging option for us. And we've got that 4.4 Evo. Whew. Well, I'm glad that this didn't happen on the arena, or we'd be in trouble. We would need to, like, basically summon a Servant of Makleb and fight it out. In this case, bees are very fast and kind of damaging. We can resist poison, though. That makes us better than most against bees. Like, we're going to go show you what's up with bees. Dun, dun, dun. Killer bee. He only does 10 damage, but he's got the poison, right? Uh, so that can really add up. We have poison resist. We still don't want to fuck with these bees, though. Just because, like, look at this positioning. They can get 4 of us, 10 damage each. They don't poison us. Who cares? Die in 2 rounds. That's not really okay by me. So we're going to go. We do want to stare dance. The problem is we probably can't stare dance any of them because bees are fast. So they could, like, normally in this situation, what I would do is I would shoot, like, once for shits, and I would get, like, 1 or 2 of them. But, oh, even if they're not fast, actually, they can all get to me in 1 turn. So, yeah, I need to go up this turn instantly, or I'm fucked. And I need to remember not to use that middle staircase, or I may just die, because they'll just get their attack on me right away. Alright, this is so much better. This is so deal-withable. Well, it would be if I wasn't... Wait, isn't that... That symbol means they're summoned. You can summon an orc priest? How does that even work? Oh, okay. He reads a scroll, wisps of shadow swirl around him. So that's like a scroll of summoning or whatever. So, fuck it. Summons timeout. So we're just going to leave all the summons down there. Then we don't have to fight them when we come back. This is one of those tactical positions that's really disadvantageous. Like, they get to 3-on-1 you. And if we weren't, like, way so much better than an orc that's not even funny at this point, maybe we'd be worried. Oh, they're not gone yet. Doink. I guess while I'm waiting, I'll go explore scenic. Last staircase. Yeah, the orc warrior can be a problem, but he hasn't noticed me. We're going to just... So probably the staircase to the orcish mines, I feel like, is going to be on this level. This is quite a bit of orcs, even more than the normal orc density. So notice they're throwing tomahawks and returning at us. Those can just be kind of a nuisance, but we're strong. So now those bees are going to start showing up. We got to prioritize them. Like, again, I'm not even doing this for the tension gaming trick, where you notice I'm just letting this orc hit me. I'm just going to do it because, like, he looks harmless. I got pretty good AC. Well, not pretty good AC. I take that back. But I have, like, a normal armor amount because I've got my leather and the scales. So I don't even think, like, given infinite time, I don't even know if they could beat my health regen. It would be close, right? So I'm going to completely ignore them and focus on the real threats. That's why I killed that warrior. Now that's when, well, I can't now because he's hiding, but I want to try to take out this bee. Because, see, if you look on the map, this staircase is quite close to that really nasty staircase. But if we can pick off the bees, like, 1 or 2 at a time, they're no problem at all. It's just we don't want to get hit by 3 bees constantly. So yeah, if we can, it looks like we've pretty much cleared out a lot of the threat on that old staircase. There's the iguana, one of the bees. We're going to go and switch to that really fast. Do I have a chunk in my... Yeah, I do have chunks right now, so I'm going to attack these all. To our glorious god of combat. So you'll be at max piety, and then it's just... Like most gods, Makleb, you lose piety for forgetting him, which means basically you lose some every turn. Just to stop weird, like, infinite play strategies. Crawl is very anti-grind, and that's a great way to make it so you don't just do something really annoying to grind for piety, you know? That it times out. Yeah, it looks like the other bee is kind of absconded, so I still don't want to fast travel. Alright, Cyclops. Cyclopses are, like, Ogre Mach 2. They look extremely dangerous. I actually think we can maybe take a Cyclops. But we're going to show the kind of strategy for the can I fight a big thing. And here's what we do. We're going to say Cyclops. We're going to look them up. They throw large rocks and they're slow. Which is good. It'll take him a long time to reach us. But he does 35 damage. Okay. And let's look at large rock. It does 20. So 20, 35. He can't quite kill us in 1 hit. But goddamn, he could kill us in 2 with large rocks. So, on the one hand, that's really bad that he can kill us that quickly. On the other hand, it would be really hard to try to kind of completely do this level and just pass the Cyclops by. And we've got, like, the best jump on the Cyclops we can hope for. So I think we want to do is... Oh, he just kind of, yeah. I want to fight him on the staircase because he's slow. So like I said, the big threat is him throwing giant rocks. So if he tries to walk up and kill us, we'll probably drop him before he can touch us. We just need to make sure we don't, like, if we get hit by 1 max damage giant rock, we're going to go up the staircase. So, he missed. So this is one of those fights. I think we're actually not gonna have a huge problem. We just need to take it turn by turn. Uh, our dude needs to fucking move. Oh, he just killed my Lemire with the rock, but rocks have penetration now, so it still hit me some, but I can still take a max damage rock hit, so we're fine. That was one way to get rid of that Lemire. Oh, a literal max damage hit could kill me, I think. I really hate... Oh, wait. Does leather have any... There's a stat in crawl. Oh, I forgot to leave this, like, to minimize it in the letterbox, but it's good now. Called guaranteed damage reduction. Basically, it means when this thing hits you, your AC, like, will mitigate it by some random factor. And so, yeah, 14% of damage we won't take. And basically, because I'm really bad at calculating stuff, I tend to not use GDR. Like, you notice I didn't use any previous calculations. Because, like, maybe it'll be something that ignores it. Maybe they've got some other pluses I forget. And so I find if I forget GDR, I get suitably conservative projections. Here, I'm going to know it exists just because I'm literally on the point. I think if I had no GDR and he rolled absolute max damage, he could kill me. But I have some, so we can't. Now we can. What kind of MR does a Cyclops have? 36. I just... I don't want to, like, use a potion or flee in this situation. But I don't want to die, either. And Cyclopses do not fuck around. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to summon a Lesser Servant. And now, I'm going to count on him to finish it off. Oh, wait. I'm fucking stupid. I was going to use him as cover, and that was my whole brilliant plan, but those large rocks have penetration. Yikes. So, I just need to... I don't know what happens. If I leave, will my guy keep fighting the Cyclops? I think so. I don't actually know so. We're going to hope so. I'm going to go crush him, and I'm going to sleep to full. Did my Nekwex keep fighting the... Looks like no, and he was camping that staircase. So now I'm in trouble, but I'm faster than him. So eventually a gap will open, and I can go use this staircase to defend myself. So that was pretty unfortunate. But now we're getting some imps. I just want to get to the staircase. Imp Brigade. And let's throw in one more. Let's throw in... Who's this guy? An orange demon. He's venomous, which is good. Because we can, like, weaken our enemies and shit. Alright. Now I just need to try to clear out... Oh, he's out of rocks! Okay. Never mind. This is so... I didn't even need to do that summon. I just kind of forgot that they can run out of rocks. You know? Like, I just think of Cyclopses as having rocks, but, like, they're an item. They follow normal item rules. And in this case, he ran out. So that was actually... I didn't even need that. But like I said... I lost 0 or 1 piety summoning that demon, so I'm not going to beat up about it. If I had erroneously summoned a greater, that would have actually been tragic. You know, Orange Demon, you're kind of, like, shitting the bed here. Yeah, you do your share. What are you doing? Normally you can't eat poisonous things. I have resist poison, so I can. If you're wondering why I can eat that bee and then you'll play and you can't eat the bee. It's because you don't have our poison. And that's why I said it's nice that Mock Club doesn't have a max piety thing, because we don't need to feel bad about spamming our abilities, and we'll still be able to keep our 5 stars for when it counts. Those guys definitely are going to be unsummoned by now, which is quite cool. Also, that should have... There, I got the kill. That should have identified that scroll for us. And there's a hotkey, and I keep forgetting this one, which is why I haven't showed off in the video yet. Yeah, I did get it right. It's the... I always forget which one to call backslash and forward slash. It's the one that's right above the enter key and below backspace on my American keyboard. The one where it's going back on the bottom. Like, so the bottom is closer to the right than the top. I don't remember their names. So, yeah, scrolls of summoning are ID'd for us now because we saw him read it, so that's just one more scroll ID'd, and that's always good to have for free. Okay. Well, this was quite the adventure. That Cyclops. So I think, yeah, that was something that hasn't happened that often. But I think there were a couple turns in there where we could have died to bad luck, which I try to avoid whenever possible. Don't make a habit of it. Hello, Giant Eye. That's what we were talking about just now. This guy's lasting for a long time. Our Invo. This is hype. Normally, I would have to like switch to my bow and go on this guy, but it's like this flail is nuts, and I have a demon, and just whatever. I can't make myself care anymore. I'm just so much stronger than the popcorn that's getting thrown at us here. Not stronger than everything. Obviously, that Cyclops could have killed us, I think, if he had gotten a max roll. Although maybe the damage is different or something for like the large rocks and doesn't just add that number to it. Because that's a little bonkers how crazy that can kill you, but as far as my understanding goes, I think it can happen. Oh no, guys, I'm getting surrounded by orcs. That's tab. I don't even know if I've explained tab, but it's the auto fight button. I haven't really used it much because, you know, I'm an archer, but I've used it occasionally. Mostly for bats, I like to hit tab because it's quicker than trying to chase the fuckers down. Also, just check out my prediction of that bat. But here we go. It's our first fucking spell book. We have been trying to just find them, see if we can have our audible in the spellcasting. In this case, this is the Grimoire of the Rocks. You can hit capital M to see all the spells you can memorize, which right now is equivalent to this book. I like to look in the book anyway just because it's fun, and when you've got a lot of spell books, then it's nice to have them kind of sorted out in your brain. Okay. So this is basically Stone Skin is just a little AC buff. It can be nice, especially if you're kind of chilling in light armor like we are, just a little bit more armor. But this spell book is about this 2-spell combo, Petrify and Lee's Rapid Deconstruction. Petrify does what you'd expect. An enemy will slowly slow down, and if they don't cure it or anything, then they're just going to turn to stone, and they can't do anything for a while, but they have crazy damage resistance. My character I beat the game with, I got down to 3 health, because I got tagged by a Earth Elementalist who petrified me, but he didn't quite shatter me enough to death, because he just couldn't hurt me for shit. And then I woke up and I killed him. And then Lee's Rapid Deconstructions, basically it's normally kind of a tactical spell. How it works is you take something that's earthen and you blow it up. So you like blow up a wall near an enemy to deal with shrapnel damage. That's the main use. But if you petrify an enemy, you can also Lee's Rapid Deconstruction them and they die. So that's a cool combo. The problem is if the enemy isn't made of earth, you need to petrify them first. That petrify is going to check against their MR, and that's going to have trouble scaling up. But so we're at a crossroads now. We could choose right now. Nothing would stop us. I think our Evo kind of we're at 12, which is a little bit higher than I wanted, but still it's perfectly fine to switch if I felt like it. And we could right now say, I really want to use this, and I've got my Ring of Wizardry. We really want to do... This is wearing the wing, right? We're wearing the ring right now. The Ring of Wizardry. Yes, we are. So with the Ring of Wizardry, and no ranks in Earth, Stone Skin's already perfectly castable. And Petrify is, like, totally not castable, but, like, the percentages go down really, really fast. So giving it at 88% with no skill is actually, I'm not going to call it castable, but it's encouraging. And we can see here, Stone Skin, it will give you, you know, a bit of AC. Petrify will turn the monster to stone. And Lee's Rapid Deconstruction will just... can also blow up walls at higher spell power. So, we could or we could not. And I think I'm actually going to leave it to you guys because I wanted to end on this floor anyway. That was some kind of big fights, you know, with the Cyclops and all. So, sound off if you think we should go and audible into Earth Magic. The relevant aptitudes, our transmutations are -1, our Earth is -1. Like I said, we were pretty much expecting to have -1s for our spell schools. In this case, we would probably do them roughly equally for now, and then later if we found like something in one of school or the other, we would really focus on just that one. Oh, it's a yak skeleton. I should actually kind of take it seriously and not just walk into it. Yaks are one of the princes of having an innocent sounding name in their motherfuckers in Crawl. So their skeleton, like, obviously the skeleton's a lot weaker than a real yak, but it still is anything with the word yak in it, and you take it seriously because fuck yaks. But yeah, that's the game for now. Do we have any more potions to blindly chug? No. Got another key mute. Maybe we should go bring that to our temple stash. I'll probably do that at the start of next episode in the same remaxing period that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, right now our big decision is whether to use our Grimoire of the Rocks or not. Our Ring of Flight's at 12. In a vacuum, I'd probably get it to 8 before I switch to the Evo, but I certainly don't mind switching out of Evo now. Our Invo is really darn good. Major Destruction's down to 1% failure. Greater Servant's only at 7% failure. We saw that duration was quite a long time with that Orange Demon. We could keep that for a while, and we're just getting our bows to min delay. I forgot to check last time, so sure. Let's waste an arrow. Maybe. No, we didn't. We're still at 0.9 delay on our bows. So we actually also wouldn't be a bad idea now to just get our fighting to 3 very fast and then just sit for a while at bows 66, invo 33. That's also a pretty darn good option. Just get our bow to min delay. Fire, fire, fire. That's almost the more standard option. But I mean, that Petrify LRD combo can be, like, it's going to be very strong. If we land it, that's pretty much just killing that monster. But it's just as we go on, we're going to have a lot of monsters where that Petrify just isn't realistic for us to get. So that's the first trial we have to wait on. Otherwise, we could just always try to find another spell book later. We could even take this hedge option, which ramp our spellcasting a bit, because that will also reduce the failure chance of your spells by a lot less than training the spell schools. I have to stress that. You don't get spellcasting to lower the failure chance. You get spellcasting because it lowers the spell hunger and it gives you more spell slots. However, it does ping a few percent off the failure chance. And so, if we're just saying we want to spellcast for sure at some point, but maybe not this Book of the Rocks, if we find another good book soon, that's also on the table. And I've been kind of just doing my own thing here. No spectators came when people asked. I'm so sad. No one loves me. But we'll try to make this more interactive for once. Just come over and let me know what you think needs to happen next in the life of Hito the Archer. Cheers.